Hello, everybody. Shelly Lay and Emily Law here. Together we are Lunar Waves, and today we are talking about whatever we're talking about in our third episode. What is it, Emily?
We're going to talk about nutrition again, in particular, two of our favorite F words,
Ooh.
which are fiber and fat.
Oh, those F words.
Those F words. And fiber and fat, and we're going to talk about how they help you stay fit. There's another F word. Lots of F bombs going off today. We're going to talk about how healthy fats are so important for overall health, and that fat is not a dirty word. And also how fats and fibers are essential for healthy minds and healthy bodies.
They really are. It's so important. I feel like fat's gotten a pretty bad rap, right? Especially like coming out of the 80s, it used to be like so bad to eat fat. Everything had to be low fat. And I think most people know that some fat can be healthy, but let's talk about all the great things that good, healthy fat does. So, first of all, it supports your brain health because guess what? 60% of our brains are fat, Emily. They're just fat brains. We have fat heads. And if we
Let me have being a fat head. That's great.
And if we want to be smart and sharp, we got to have healthy fat.
Absolutely. Healthy fats also help to reduce inflammation, and the topic of inflammation is something that you hear a lot about. But omega 3s are actually powerful anti inflammatory agents that help reduce the risk of chronic diseases.
That's right. It like smooths everything out. That's how I kind of think of it. Um, it's also really good for our heart. So the monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats help lower bad cholesterol, which is LDL, and raise your good cholesterol, which is HDL.
And Shelly, did you know that healthy fats help to boost nutrient absorption? Yeah, so fat is actually needed to absorb fat soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K.
That is amazing. It also helps keep you full. You know, when you're cooking, they always say fat is flavor. You got to have some fat while you're cooking because not only does it keep you full, but it makes everything taste good, right?
Definitely.
Do you want me to talk
Yeah,
about some of the
go ahead and
things?
tell us some
Okay.
of our favorite fats in
Some
foods.
of our favorite fats and foods. Of course, top of the list is probably extra virgin olive oil. So good to cook with, so good to put on salads. Fish, chicken, lean grass fed organic beef. So you want to make sure your beef is always really lean. And we have avocados, a superfood, nuts, and of course eggs, which is another superstar. Eggs have vitamin B12. They're the perfect protein. They're actually scientifically proven to be the most balanced protein, and they have amazing fats for us.
Yeah, I love eggs. We could actually probably do a whole podcast on eggs, to be honest.
Eggs.
Might want to mention to people that if you're someone that keeps track of your macronutrients or on an app, that sometimes, depending on the app, they keep track of fats differently. So they don't necessarily delineate between healthy fats and unhealthy fats. So if you are somebody that actually thrives on eating fat a diet that's high in fats, healthy fats, don't freak out when you see that red number on your app because actually it's a little misleading. You need to be keeping track of where you got your fats from.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I go about my diet. I do have a high in fat diet, healthy fats, but you do need to pay attention too. If you're somebody that needs to watch your cholesterol levels, always make sure and talk to your doctor before you're changing your diet and increasing fat intake. I wanted to share a little story about to help squelch the notion that fats are terrible. And going back to the 90s or the early 2000s and diet culture and all of that, I remember that I got on this kick and I started eating cashews as a snack. And cashews are actually also contain fiber, which we're going to get to in a little bit, but they're high in protein, vitamin E, potassium, zinc, magnesium, and a lot more. So basically, a miracle nut, if you will. And I like the way they tasted, and it just helped boost the amount of protein that I was getting too. And I remember telling somebody about the fact that I was adding cashews to my diet and having that a lot. And I remember this person just could not believe it and was like, well, you better be careful because you're going to get fat from eating all of that fat from the nuts. So I remember in those days even rolling my eyes in my head knowing that that is just simply a farce, basically.
Yeah, and to speak to that point, like, the type of fats, if you were getting your extra fat and protein from peanut butter that also had hydrogenated oil, that would be really bad because that actually interferes with your body's ability to absorb fat. It's super bad for you. So you want to make sure you look at your ingredients and that it's all the healthy kind of fat.
And that's a great segue to talk about unhealthy fats, which are called trans fats. And always checking your ingredients whenever you're taking a product down from Costco and looking at that peanut butter and check those ingredients and see what kind of fat is in there. I just read a book by Dr. Perricone, and it's called The Beauty Molecule, which he is a phrase he coined for for the acetylcholine molecule. And he talks about fats and he talks about how a diet high in the wrong kind of fats like trans fats can actually compromise the mitochondria in your DNA and in your cellular DNA rather, and can cause chronic diseases. But a nutrient rich diet full of healthy fats actually can help repair the mitochondria in your cells and clear out the free radicals and help promote the boost the production of acetylcholine molecule, which helps keep you vibrant and young and youthful and helps also to normalize your metabolism. Yeah. We could talk a little bit about an example of replacing trans fat. Do you want to talk about examples of cooking oils?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
So we mentioned extra virgin olive oil earlier, which is really great. And I do cook with that a lot, but it does have kind of a lower smoke point, which is always brought up by chefs. So something that's also a really good fat that has a higher smoke point is avocado oil. So both of those are great for salads and for cooking, but if you're going to do like more frying and high temp cooking, avocado oil might be a better choice.
I do want to quickly talk about how awesome olive oil is, though, if you use it as like salad dressing or in any other way in your diet. Um, Olive oil is a powerful antioxidant and it actually decreases bad cholesterol and increases the good cholesterol that we talked about. Helps with intestinal absorption, lowers your blood pressure, increases skin radiance, reduces the risk of cancer, protects the cardiovascular system, and lowers glucose levels in diabetes and more. So, why wouldn't you have or add olive oil to your diet? It's basically liquid gold.
Liquid gold for your body. That's amazing. That's so cool. So, our next F, we're ready to talk about it?
Yeah, ready to drop it.
Next F bomb is fiber. All right, so this is a little trickier to get, right? Fat is like pretty much in everything, and you do just want to make it's harder to make sure you're getting the good fat, but fat is in so many foods. Fiber is in some foods, but not near as many. Most Americans are not getting enough fiber in their diet. And it's, also at the same time, we see colon cancer and other diseases rising that are linked to a low fiber diet. And so, having a high fiber diet, it does so many good things for you. So, fiber itself, what is it? It's a type of carbohydrate that cannot be digested. So you have soluble fiber, which does kind of make itself into like a mushy substance, like a gel-like substance in your intestines, and that slows digestion down. And then you also have insoluble fiber, which actually passes straight through your system, and that helps keep you regular and does all sorts of other things we're going to talk about. So one of the things that's really important for that fiber does is balance our blood sugar. You want to talk about that?
Yes, so soluble fiber slows glucose absorption and it helps control blood sugar levels so that your blood sugar doesn't spike. Also, it helps with cholesterol control. I always have a hard time saying cholesterol. Cholesterol. It's just one of those words. Um, and soluble fiber helps to lower the bad cholesterol.
cholesterol. So fiber, like protein, is actually one of your secrets for weight maintenance as well. So you it helps you feel full, and it keeps things slowing down so you don't need as much food, and it helps you reduce the overall calorie intake, which of course is key to lowering your fat in your body. It also of course is good for digestive health, which everybody knows about Metamucil, etc. And here's what I think is probably the most interesting thing about fiber is that it feeds your microbiome, your gut microbiome, right? So the higher the fiber is, the healthier your gut is going to be. And a healthy gut is linked to so many different things. It's pretty crazy, including your cognitive health. The higher your fiber level, the more likely you are to retain your cognitive abilities as you age. It's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. Shelly, can you tell us how many grams of fiber people should get? And maybe share with us one of your regimens for how you get extra fiber in your daily diet.
For shizzle. So, women need at least 25 grams of fiber a day. And as we get older, honestly, it's hard to get too much. If you are introducing fiber into your diet, you've had a very low fiber diet, it is good to introduce it slowly because your body does need to get used to it. But things, of course, fruits and vegetables are good, but really amazing sources of fiber are avocados, beans, seeds, nuts. These are all amazing sources of fiber. And so in my smoothie, I have like a concoction of all these different kinds of things. So it's like high fiber, high protein smoothie. I start out with either no fat Greek yogurt or kefir, and I put in greens. I'll put in a lot of spinach because it really has no flavor when it's mixed up, or kale or anything like in any kind of greens are fine. And then you add in fruit. I like to use frozen fruit, like frozen berries, blueberries, even strawberries. And of course, you can always mix this up and do fruits that, any kind of fruit is great. But I like to keep the berries for the low sugar aspect of it. And then I add in ground flaxseed because your body actually absorbs the nutrients better in the ground flaxseed, and chia seeds. So both of those are, hey, guess what? They also have really good healthy fats for you in there too. And they're good fibers. And if I have avocado, which I usually do, I put some avocado in there and it makes it smooth like a banana would, except with less sugar, more fiber, and more protein and healthy fats.
All of those ingredients that you talked about are also anti-inflammatory foods and help with and are rich in antioxidants.
Must be why my skin glows and I'm so healthy. And then I usually use 2 scoops of protein powder. I think there's a lot of personal preference when it comes to protein powder. I like to use a whole egg protein powder personally because eggs, are good for you and all that. So that is my smoothie. Do you want to talk about your smoothie? No, another time. All right.
Talk about a protein smoothie another time.
I think that covers the fat and fiber though, right?
Yeah, so let's see how much you retained here, how much you were paying attention. We're going to do a little fact or fiction like we did in our first podcast. Shelly, fact or fiction? All fat is bad for you.
No, that is not true. Do not give fat a bad name. It's important.
That's right. We talked about the difference between healthy fats and unhealthy fats. Okay, Shelly, fact or fiction? Eating fat makes you fat.
That is not true. You can eat fat and actually be quite healthy and have a very good body composition.
And don't forget, it helps you stay full longer.
That's right.
Okay, fact or fiction? You need fiber if you take probiotics.
That is actually true. You do need to still eat fiber if you're taking probiotics. Probiotics do a completely different thing, and that's actually a whole other subject. But you always need that actual fiber from food, and you can actually get it in husks too, like in the kind of things that are in Metamucil. You can always add that to your diet, but the best way is to get from your yummy, healthy diet. Oh, wait, let me do one to you. Okay, Emily. Do only old people need to worry about fiber?
No, everyone needs to worry about how much fiber they get.
But it is funny because we always think of old people with their prunes and their Metamucil, right? At least my grandparents, that's what they did. And now as I'm like getting closer to like my grandparents' age, I'm like, prunes aren't so bad.
Exactly. I personally like figs for fiber. So, anyway, fact or fiber or fact or fiber. Lots of
There's
F
lots of
words.
F's,
See,
F-bombs.
gosh. Okay, fact or fiction, Shelly? Fiber is only for preventing constipation.
Emily, that is a load of shit. No, it's obviously we've talked about it so many things, but it is actually important for making you regular and pooping every day is actually super important.
Don't be embarrassed to talk about it because it is important.
Yeah. With your health professional or with your coaches, we will also are interested in your poop.
Who can say that?
Okay, here's our last one.
Okay.
A low carb or keto diet means you can't eat fiber.
That's fiction.
Right.
It's fiction because you can eat plenty of fiber on a low carb diet, especially focusing on non starchy vegetables and getting your nuts and seeds and low sugar fruits that, like you were sharing, in the ingredients of your smoothie.
Yeah, I think that about covers it. We did a pretty good job. How did you do on your quiz? Did you learn anything new today? If you did, we'd love to hear about what you learned. Drop it below. We also have an amazing PDF with all the links and our scientific white page papers that back up our facts.
Oh, Shelly, do you want to mention about our Facebook page and our challenge coming up?
Oh, yes. Okay, so on Monday, we are starting a 2-week challenge. Try to get at least 25 grams of fiber every day. We'll be posting on our page Lunar Waves. Look for that on Facebook. We will accept you to join. And we'll be posting tips, recipes, things like that. And if you want to really be a part of the challenge, just drop us a link on there or here saying, let's go. And we will give you all the official documents to be an official part of the challenge.
Thank you for watching today, and we'll be back.
We'll be back. Have a great day, everybody. Stay healthy.